Coming up, we have to talk about Marvel's feng shui. This is the Sacred Rewatch. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sacred Rewatch, brought to you by Effortless Expeditions, a Disney-centered travel agency here to help you plan your next Disney vacation. Contact us today for a free, no-obligation quote wherever the destination is. They make the experience truly effortless. As always, give some love to the subscribe button. We're making tons of progress. I've got a big goal, so just go hit the subscribe button. It's so simple. And while you're at it, if you're listening on a podcast app, just give us a 5-star review. You know, it would be sick if we became the number one podcast in the world. Probably impossible for a Marvel podcast for that to ever happen, but let's give it a try, guys. Let's give it a shot. But today, I am joined by our normal crew these days. I also like to give a little update too once I introduce everybody, but we're also joined by Wyatt.
What's going on, everybody?
And our resident philosopher, Brody.
Hello, everyone.
How are you guys doing?
Relatively good. I watched Iron Fist, so not that perfect.
Brody, how you doing?
I've just been binging Iron Fist and working on more videos for the channel.
Awesome. Well, that's a great plug. Brody's doing fantastic stuff over at the E-Ticket Talk. He's really holding down the fort while I'm taking a little sabbatical from it. This Marvel thing has really taken up my time. And there's simply no other thing I'd rather be doing than watching 13 hours of Iron Fist during my work week.
Dude, it was a lot.
But to give a little update on where are the other people? Andreas is gone. He's taken the night shift, so we're going to try to get him back on. We're really going to make sure that we're all back together to talk about Civil War, which is coming up, I think, next week. I'll do my research before. So I think it'd be great to get us all on. Austin, he's fallen into the workload, so he's going to be gone. He'll be back in a few weeks, I hope. But I don't know if I've given an update on this, but we have lost a few souls. Carson is no longer with us. Not from the earth, but just from the show.
Lost their souls.
Oh, no.
Brendan is also gone, but he's still joining us for the Illuminati takeover. We're doing some great stuff over there for current Marvel topics. We have another great episode coming up. We're going to be talking about the current status of comic book movies in the year 2025. So that's a great episode coming out. Who else? Sophia has also left the podcast, which is quite unfortunate because she was our female representative. So now we're a whopping.
We're just 3 white guys with the podcast now.
Yeah, the demographics are really out the charts. Am I missing anybody else?
Probably not.
I don't think so. If I forgot somebody else, I am so sorry. Because the group chat is not that big. But yes, we're going to talk about Iron Fist today, and we're also going to be talking about our show rankings up to this point. We've watched a lot of shows. Most of them are season 1s. We did have a season 2 in there, or 2 season 2s technically. So yeah, let's Wyatt, give one word to describe your watching experience of Iron Fist.
Long.
Brody, let's hear one word from you as well.
Slow.
Yeah. I think my word would be interesting, and not for a good reason. We can go ahead and give our reveals. Brody, let's ask you, who do you think gave this show the highest score?
Wyatt.
Wyatt, let's hear your score. What did you give it?
I gave it an 11.
Really? I gave it a 4.5. Brody, what did you give it?
I gave it an 8.
Okay.
I probably would have gone lower, but this is my first single digit, I think. So I think I didn't want to be too crazy harsh.
I'm gonna just go ahead and give it a start. I talked to Wyatt about this when I was through 4 episodes, and I thought this was going to be the worst show by far. I think for the first 3 episodes, there's a lot of confusion in my opinion. Like, there's just so many characters and so many plot points I'm just not understanding, which is very bizarre because I feel like going into most shows, we have some introduction, but this character in this show is, kind of off the beaten path. But as the show gets on, there's actually a lot of interconnectivity, which I think's good. I think for the first episode, I just have some random notes like, is this guy just a homeless weirdo? Which he kind of was. I thought the intro, we talk about the intro music for Netflix shows, which is very important to me. I just think that this show is supposed to be taking place in like the Himalayas.
Yeah. The animation was all right, though.
Yes, the animation was
I think
good.
the intro animation was pretty good.
I'm rethinking my
What did you
store.
guys think of the first episode and the first episode and kind of their introduction to the character?
Well, I was going to double check. Wyatt, have you seen this before?
I have, but it was a very long time ago. I've seen so much media since then that I was very shocked with how bad it actually was compared to what I remember.
Okay, because I just didn't remember if you had seen it or not. But
this show,
yeah. What was that first song that played when he showed up though? Wasn't it like Justin Timberlake or something?
No, it's not Justin Timberlake. I
Like
can't
when he's
remember
like-
who it is, but
It caught me off guard. I thought it was super funny.
the
But,
show
like-
suffers from abysmal pacing.
Yeah, completely. And the fight scenes.
The fight scenes are so boring and bland.
Every fight scene looks like what you do before you shoot the fight scene. It looks like they're blocking the shots. Like, straight up, when he was first going in to get into that elevator, I was like, oh, okay, he's gonna fight these guards. And he's like he's like moving so slow. Like, I couldn't
get what
believe
they're going
that these
for.
two guards. Yeah.
I think they're trying to show like the difference between, Daredevil, who is full brute, adrenaline filled, yelling, beating the hell out of these guys, compared to him, who's like trained in kung fu, and he's somewhat using them against themselves. But it really just comes off as quiet and slow and boring.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe the runtime. I was like, maybe if they make the fights too quick, they won't have anything to like play for 40 minutes. You know what I mean? But like the start of the show, I thought it was actually going to catch me off guard and be like pretty decent show. Like I was like, oh, this feels like, whenever Bruce Wayne leaves and trains and then he comes back and his company's all different. Like I had just watched like Batman Begins. So I was like, oh, this is cool. I never knew this about his character. I only know him from Rivals and him punching me. You know what I mean?
Dude, talk about one of the cringiest Marvel Rivals characters out there.
Right? But I'm just used to him just like punching super quick, just like attacking me. And I'm like, I didn't know he owned a company. I didn't know he was doing all this, listening to music on his phone in the public park. Like, I don't know anything about this character.
I feel like the first couple episodes, I can't remember exactly how long the little arc runs, but watching it, the arc of like no one believing it's the real Danny Rand went on for way too long than it really needed to go on.
Right?
Like I always
You'd
have
think
kind of
there'd be,
had
like,
a
a blood
small
test.
issue with stuff in TV shows like that, just because us as the viewers, we know that it's Danny Rand, we know that he's the Iron Fist, and we know that this is not going to be the whole season. Like we know that this is going to get solved at some point. And it's just you're constantly poking holes through how actually easy it would be. Like, let's say when I was 11 or 12, I died and disappeared. There would be so much information that I could convince Ethan that it's the real me within seconds of conversation or minutes of conversation. And they just kind of like yell at each other that it's not the real Danny, instead of being like, well, just start naming all the information you two grew up with each other with. And then it just goes on for a way too long that I think it needed to.
Right.
I will give benefit
what was
of
it,
the doubt.
M&Ms?
Say it again, buddy.
What was the M&Ms thing where like he was sorting out the M&Ms?
He
and
doesn't
that's,
like
how
the
she,
brown
believed him?
M&Ms. And yeah.
Like I was like, that's the way that you're gonna put together that that's him.
I love.
I will say.
Go, Ethan.
I will say, I agree. Like from a personal standpoint, that did go on a little too long. But I did find some of the legal stuff kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought that part kind of built that plot a little bit better for me.
But every time
Like,
that happened, I was like, I wish I was watching Daredevil right now because
Yeah.
Daredevil does both so well.
And I do
Like,
feel like that
this
show
made me
definitely
appreciate
lacked
Daredevil even more.
It did. I feel like lack in terms of the balance of the business, like he has his alter ego who does the sort of business side, and then he has a vigilante who does the vigilante stuff. Because in Daredevil, there's such a good dynamic between the two. Like it's very obvious that it works together with a synergy. Whereas this, it just feels like he doesn't really want to be a business guy. He's just using it to get his information to go be the Iron Fist. But even then, he's also not really being an Iron Fist or the vigilante at all. He's kind of doing half of both.
Right.
The one scene I like in the first episode is when they do the flashback where they're playing Monopoly just to show that Ward's an asshole. Like, he's like, no, I'm not paying that. And like throws the board game. And he's like, Danny's
all kicking him under the table.
Yeah, like it's like, okay, I get it. He's a jerk.
And then like he's in the car with him. He's like, that didn't happen. That like he's just like totally just lying to his face. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. That never happened. That was hell.
I think this is what I wrote down for episode 2. I first of all, they kind of show that first scene where he's got this power. I think he'd like punch that door through.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that he's got an iron fist. Great way to show that he's got the power. And I wrote this down. I said, I still think he should be in a mental hospital. But now look, reflecting on it, I think every character in the show needs to go to like a couple sessions of therapy. After
they all need a reality check.
Everybody just needs to go in and go talk to somebody. They've got a lot of issues.
Right.
I don't know. This show is just incredibly hard to talk about because it's so slow.
Well, I got a lot to say.
Dude, I found
it extremely boring. Like every arc they run falls so short and flat. Like at the start, there's the whole arc of not believing this is the real Danny Rand, him trying, and then he tries to get his company back. It's just, at the end of the day, falls very boring. And then he never actually is the Iron Fist. He does not do much Iron Fisting in this show, which all he really does is talk about Kung Lun, which we never once actually see. All he does is talk about how hard it was to become the Iron Fist, when we actually don't see any of that hard work done. All he does, that line he gives where he's an outsider. Like, that's what's interesting. Show us how an outsider became the protector of this forbidden holy land. And then,
and especially too, like, let's point out the obvious. He's a white guy. I would have not expected Iron Fist after doing all this backstory that he's going to be a white guy. You know?
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I'm going to put some praise on a show that doesn't get much praise. But me and Ethan defend this show a little bit. Book of Boba Fett is how this show should have been going. They should have been cutting back to how he's been getting trained and stuff while they're doing the legal stuff. And then you would have had a perfect balance of how do you get to this point and what's going on. Like, I feel like literally just take that story format and apply it to this. And then we'd actually know how he got so strong and what's going on.
It's a recipe for failure
is like
when your main character is the most boring character in the show. And I texted Ethan about this the other day. I think a big part of it boils down to he's not a good actor. Like, I can't act. I'm not going to act like I can act. But none of the emotional scenes really land because they seem so, his PTS scenes are so over the top. And then the scenes where he's trying to be emotional with Colleen fall so short because he can't act emotional. It just comes off as reading a script. So you don't really feel for him in those situations.
Is that because of him, or is it because the writing doesn't make us care about these characters at all?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Because honestly, I think it was the writing. But yeah, I guess that would fall on the director too. But like, this show just feels rushed. Like, I don't know if they were like, oh, we're going to get to Defenders, we have to do this show real quick. Like, this show doesn't seem like it had the time put into it that the other shows did. Like, it had good, like, business locations. All the film locations were fine. But something about it just does not feel as complete as the other shows.
I was just looking at, like, what the internet says about this show and what their reviews are. And a lot of people, and I agree with this 100%, Netflix had an issue, and it becomes very obvious in Iron Fist, and I think a little obvious near the end of Luke Cage, that they want these shows to have 13 episodes no matter what. And I think Iron Fist did not need to have 13 episodes. Like, it is very, very evident for all of these kind of like half arcs that don't really feel fulfilled without being concluded. Like the one with the hand, It's interesting when he wakes up at the Hand's facility and Colleen's been working with the Hand the whole time, and the idea that maybe Kung Lung was wrong,
Yeah.
and he was training his whole life to fight a bad guy who wasn't really bad. It lasts 30 minutes, and by the end of that episode, it's revealed, oh no, the Hand actually is bad. They're still bad. Like, that's interesting, but it falls so short because it's half of the episode. They don't even actually play on the idea outside of the 1 or 2 lines that Danny maybe contemplates.
Yeah. But in the company just doesn't matter at all. Like, even he doesn't, he just cares about the information. He doesn't care about the company at all.
Mm-hmm.
You have no reason to want him to get the company back. From what I can tell. Like, they might have thrown some stuff in there, but there's nothing that was directly telling me that, like, I should care about this. Yeah, man, the company was just a basic company.
There's never any real stakes that affect our main character involving his company whatsoever. It's almost like the company's just there
Exactly.
so he doesn't have to worry about money. He can bribe people and drive the cars, and there's no question of how is he getting this money when he's lived in Kunglan his whole life. I think what is very interesting is the stuff with Ward. The Ward story arc, I think, is actually somewhat interesting, which isn't good for a show about the Iron Fist, that his jerk friend from childhood is actually one of the most interesting plots throughout the whole point. All this stuff with the drug addictions, I think, portrayed very, very well done and very interesting. And I think the stuff with him and his dad is also some of the better parts of this show. And the same goes for Claire. Like, when Claire shows up, that's interesting. Like, when she's interacting with the three of them, that's some of the best parts of the show.
Dude, when in doubt with a Netflix show, throw Rosario Dawson in there. That's the only way to let us know that these all take place within the same world, is to throw her in there.
She's been in every season we've had so far, right?
Yeah.
Was she in Jessica Jones?
Yeah,
she was in Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage.
Yeah. Because, she was mostly
it's just funny.
Jessica Jones for Luke Cage, right? When he got messed up.
This show does do a really good job at the kind of like connected universe building. Like, this, I feel like, has the most references, the most kind of like build up. Like, the Hand is someone we saw in Daredevil. There's tons of references to previous characters. You actually see Gal play a large role as the pseudo villain, whatever you want to call her, because she really isn't the main bad guy of this show. But she is in it for a very large amount of time.
Yeah,
I would say for Gal too, like, looking back now, especially at Daredevil season 1, like, that it makes that Daredevil season 1 so much more interesting now that I have, more, not necessarily backstory, but more character build up for Gal, because we have so much more screen time with her.
But I don't know if you guys can agree with this. I don't like the classic trope of, or maybe not don't like, but we see it thousands and thousands of times, the hero losing his ability to use his powers, and he has to like learn to work without his powers. Sometimes it doesn't work, but it really does not work when it's our first time meeting the character. Like, all he talks about is how he trained to be the Iron Fist. I trained to be the Iron Fist. Why am I already seeing you struggle to use that ability? Like, I would have made more sense if, let's say, he kills Harold at the end. Like, let's say he doesn't struggle with the Iron Fist ability whatsoever in the show. And I've never seen season 2. I have no idea how season 2 goes. Let's say at the end of season 1, he kills Harold or something. Because I believe, I can't remember who says it, but someone tells him, like, killing Harold will mess with your inner chi or whatever. And then he struggles to use the Iron Fist because he has to weigh the balance of, is it right to kill, to protect, and all that type of stuff. It's not interesting when I've never actually seen you use it in the first place.
True. Yeah.
I agree. I'm going to read some other notes that I had right now. I was pretty pissed off when Hogarth got in, but I actually didn't mind her character.
Dude, Hogarth was great in this show. She was cool.
I wrote that down for episode 3. I said,
W. Hogarth.
As it went on, I did appreciate it.
I was happy to see her again.
Yeah, I actually, no, my very next note in episode 3. Oddly enough, though, bringing her in, I'm starting to understand what the plot of the show is. Like, she kind of helps build those first 4 episodes. I had no idea what was happening.
just
she ties
adds
into
depth
what
to
I
it
said
completely.
about Ward, and like it's not good when her arcs are the most interesting stuff. Like when she shows up to tell him about the legal stuff, when she shows up at the end with the DEA stuff, that's interesting, and it's not good when your outside character from a different show is one of the more interesting parts.
And your outside character
Yeah.
that was, not very an in-depth character before that,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know how it works with the writers and the planners of these shows. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's the writers of this show trying to write her like it's in Daredevil, or if they have some similar writers and stuff. Because she seemed like all the characters that are crossing in between seem pretty fluid. Like, they seem like they are in the other shows, like, pretty much completely. It's very consistent.
And I feel like for this, this show falls victim to this more than any other show. I think Wyatt said it already. It just feels like they're trying to rush to the Defenders now. Like they need one more hero, that they can add.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
They needed to give some type of story.
But also,
and
it feels like they're rushing into the Defenders, but it ends with absolutely no idea how Danny Rand is going to be meeting up with Jessica Jones. But then again, all of the shows kind of end that way. Yeah. And it makes sense for Daredevil, because I don't know if when Daredevil Season 2 came out, if Defenders was really announced or even talked about. But, like...
It probably wasn't.
How are any of these characters going to end up in New York again? Danny's all the way in Tibet. You told me the next show he's going to be in New York? Like, I'm kind of just really confused. I don't remember much how it works or how it ends up playing out.
I trust Defenders to figure that out. I was just talking about, like, the opposite thing with, like, recent Marvel projects with somebody else. Was, like, I don't like how they tell us that stuff is going to return.
Mm-hmm.
Like, pretty much every movie we've gotten for the past 5 years, I want to say, has ended with blank will return or will return in. And I'm like, you don't got to tell us that. Like, we already watched the movie. Like, that, it's not like a selling point to be like, oh, watch this movie because they're going to be in the next one. It's like, we just got done watching the movie.
Well, and there's so much press these days. Like, how can you not know?
And everything's already so announced.
Yeah, you're going to find out.
About, like, they announced the whole cast of Doomsday before, like, Thunderbolts came out and before Fantastic Four came out.
And Fantastic Four.
It's like, oh, I know nothing's... Like, I remember Taskmaster, I can't remember the actress's name, isn't listed on the chairs in Doomsday. And everyone's like, yeah, she's probably going to die. Like, there was already a lot of questions because, spoilers for Defenders, Thunderbolts. There's questions already because, like, the posters and promotional art, she's in none of it. And then they say everyone in this movie besides her is in the next one. It's really like, oh, yeah. There's no shock at all when what happens.
Yeah. So, like, that's why I kind of trust this one to be like, oh, Defenders will explain how these people get here, and I don't have to... Then it won't bother this show. Because that's another thing about, like, what we're seeing with the streaming stuff now. Is usually towards the end, they're like, oh, by the way, this is leading into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that kind of takes away from the show. Like, that's kind of some of what I felt after watching, like, WandaVision and stuff. And it's like, oh, but the story's not done, the book's still there. And it's like, okay, but I just got done watching the show. Like, shouldn't this be done for the show? You know what I mean? So I feel like sometimes it can take away.
I think
the only time I feel like the...
No, we're going to say, mine's a little different of a topic to finish.
Okay, well, I was just going to quickly say, the only time recently I think that the will return made sense was for Guardians 3 and saying Star-Lord will return.
Yeah, I 100%
because that
agree.
was, we knew about the director trouble, we knew about the character, we didn't know if that was going to be the end for that character.
And also,
every other character we knew was going to come back.
It served as a much better ending for the other Guardians. Like, oh, okay, like, they're not coming back.
Exactly.
Like, we have seen the Guardians of the Galaxy. We have seen their story run. They are not coming back. We will see Star-Lord, who has left the Guardians at the end of Guardians 3. I mean, obviously, he's always going to be a Guardian of the Galaxy, but he's not, like, affiliated with the team anymore. So it's cool. I think that is a good little one to have in there.
Yeah, but I just feel like shows benefit from, when we bring them together, we'll figure that out then. Because you can do that. Like, when you think about, like, Infinity War, not every project before that explained how they're going to show up in Infinity War. You just have to write it so it makes sense to your plot, and just, you're setting yourself up for failure by pre-planning 3 years before where this person is.
And that's why we're having a reboot, man. That's why it's all coming to
a
an end.
Reboot?
More like a rewatch.
A reboot? I thought you were talking about the rewatch.
It's the rewatch for this all to mean nothing after Secret
Don't
Wars.
say that. Don't say that. I can't watch 13 Hours of Iron Fist and then tell me it's going to mean nothing, Ethan. You can't do that.
Well, it will mean something.
It will.
In
In here.
Wait, it's not Kevin
Feige.
Feige.
Is.
I don't know. I haven't seen Daredevil season 4, but like, I've got no clue if we're going to see my boy Iron Fist. I will say though,
I don't think we're seeing Finn Jones ever again. I'm going to be honest. We may see an Iron Fist. I hope we see an Iron Fist. So. I just really don't think it's going to be him.
They just released another Iron Fist.
Yeah, in Eyes of Wakanda, yeah.
They just blue-balled us again, or reverse blue-balled, I guess. They just...
No, because that's a real one. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the promotional. He looks like the Iron Fist. Like, he looks cool. I'm always a sucker for...
What?
The Iron Fist is a title. Like, it's another person.
Yeah. I know.
Are we supposed to be watching that show?
I haven't watched it yet.
Well, technically, we'd have to restart because they put it at the very beginning of the MCU rewatch.
We're watching it all again. And we gotta restart.
We could do it under...
I think we'll probably just watch it right before Black Panther.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
Let's talk a little bit more about Iron Fist.
The one thing,
the
cool thing, the one thing towards the Defenders, I think Iron Fist does well is it has the hand in it, and it's another person. Because the hand, as I don't know if this is a spoiler, is a threat in the Defenders. It's like it's kind of like the only overarching villain we have, and it is cool to see the hands. So you have another character who's interacted with them and knows them. But that's really all it does.
Yeah,
in
they're
terms
cool.
of setting it up in the future, and he doesn't even get to rock no costume. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
after
to be
Daredevil
fair,
gives us a perfect
none
costume.
of the Defenders do besides Daredevil.
And I get it that like his costume is not grounded in reality whatsoever. Does Jessica Jones even have a costume in the comics? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, she does. Is it?
It is incredibly sexist.
Ah, damn it. Well, I'm glad she doesn't have it because that's like the best part about that show is all that overarching sexual assault themes. So I'm glad she doesn't have those sexist ass costume.
But this is a great point.
Pink hair.
While we're talking about it, the tie-ins, especially like episodes 5 through 9 of them, like referencing Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. Like, did you guys catch that reference that she was like, "Oh, I got a PI, to do for me," and she's like, she was really good when she was sober.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh my god, she's talking about her."
Like, I feel like those connections are just so good. Like, that's where the writing was good, and it was like, you can fill in the dots. You know what I mean? If you haven't seen that show, it doesn't matter to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's when it's good. Instead of throwing someone at you and just being like, you should care about this person, they're from this other thing. It's like, no, like, within the context of the show, you just need to know that that person got them information. Like, that's just good contextual writing.
Even like a side character like Karen Page, like, she got a mention.
Yeah, that was a cool one. That was a really cool one.
I every time something like that happens, I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio when he's like sitting in the chair,
he's doing the whistle and he's pointing.
Yeah.
Well, I just feel like that stuff's just so good. Like, I love feeling like they are nearby. I feel like Marvel struggled with that sometimes. Like, I really like when there's just like a nice little crossover that just makes sense. We just saw that in Ant-Man with Falcon's involvement. But like, I just feel like it really helps to be like, oh, within this city, there are these people, and sometimes they'll overlap. And I feel like we get a little bit of that in She-Hulk. But other than that, I feel like a lot of these modern shows are struggling to really have them existing within the worlds of each other. And that might be because they're being written so close to each other. They can't really write involvement. It's a tough line.
And it's almost like
it's such a tough line.
They kind of disregard the idea of Easter eggs and now just go to full-on crossovers or full-on cameos. Like, it's cool seeing Easter eggs. Like, it's cool when you're watching Superman, not to reverse Superman again, and you see the Gotham City on a street sign. Like, I don't need the whole thing. It's those little things like that that really do make the universe feel so connected without taking away from anything else. Like,
well, we've like in our rewatch so far, we've already gotten so many like great Easter eggs when Bruce Banner's talking about Wakanada, you know? Doctor Strange, which is not as much a Easter egg as it is a retcon, but Like, we've already got a ton of great Easter eggs to this point.
Yeah.
And they're actually going to get fulfilled.
What was the Doctor Strange one?
But it's just...
Agent Sitwell, when he's getting threatened, he's like, Bruce Banner, Stephen Strange, they're all threats to society.
He says...
It was like way before Doctor Strange came out.
We talked about it in the Winter Soldier episode.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
This one, they're like at the computer thing, right?
Oh, I don't know that.
But,
because to this point, Stephen Strange is still just a neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't make sense for him to be a huge threat. That's why it doesn't quite make sense. But, like, it's just such a tough line. Like, at the same... one part of me wants the show to not be involved with any of the other stuff because I want just this story to be good.
Mm-hmm.
But the other half of me likes when there's little, like, fluid connections to other things. And it's a very, very tough line. Like, Andor in Star Wars got a lot of praise for that. It had stuff that made sense for that time period without being too, here's fan favorite characters. But it's just a tough line. And there's so many shows coming out now that it's hard to regulate that, like, what's too far for a reference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even Fantastic Four, I felt did it great. But maybe that's just because, like, it was its own thing. You know what I mean? Where the Latveria stuff and all that was, like, good. And that was good enough for the whole movie. It was that little reference. Where maybe if that was set in New York or something, I would have wanted more context throughout the projects.
Why, are we losing Brody here?
Just for half a second.
What?
He's back. He's fine. He's good.
What?
I feel like with Iron Fist...
Anyway, I just said the wisest words.
He did. We're going to miss it forever. I feel like another issue Iron Fist had is it really does try to, like, keep you on your toes with who the main villain really is, but all it actually does is kind of, like, give you 3 villains you don't get enough time or motivation to really care about. Like, at first you think it's just the Hand, and then you're like, oh, it's Gao, someone we've seen in Daredevil, and then no, it's actually, I can't remember his name. What's his name? The guy from the Hand. And then for 20 minutes, it's his friend from childhood, or it's his friend back from Shenlong. And you're like, oh, this is out of nowhere. Now they're fighting. And then that ends in 20 minutes. And then you're, oh, okay, it's Harold's the bad guy. Which I do like the stuff with Harold. That's why I wish it was played out for longer. Because at the start, Danny, it's like the idea, oh, he has a father figure again, you know, someone he grew up with and, like, looked up to forever. It kind of, they have that going for the first 3 episodes. Then they completely drop the stuff with Danny and him. And then in the last 3 episodes, they pick it up again once he finds out he poisoned his dad.
Yeah.
It's a lot. They have way too many arcs going on at once instead of just focusing on certain things.
Yeah. The confusion in the show feels a lot like Captain Marvel. Where, like, I was also complaining there about the fact, like, we already know that's Carol Danvers. You know what I mean? We already know who's who's not to be trusted. You know what I mean? You don't need to wait till the end of the movie to be like, oh, Jude Law is not the best guy. Like, you already can tell that from the beginning. But they did the same thing where they switched it out where they're like, oh, these green aliens, you know what I mean? They're the main villain. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, actually it's the dude that was on your old space team. But it's also this blue guy. But it's also, you mean? Oh, and he's working for Thanos, the big purple guy.
The second Harold Meacham shows up on screen, this guy is not a good person. Like, this is a bad guy.
I think he should have been in the show way more.
I agree. He's one of the... he's the only interesting villain.
There's just so much wasted time in the show. Like, I feel like the first 3 episodes, those plot points should have been condensed into one first episode. Like, I feel like it just drags some of the stuff on way too much while it's still introducing stuff. Like, it's like swamping itself with too many things to talk about.
I also think that the effects they do for the actual Iron Fist is very, very cheap and boring.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not very well versed in the Iron Fist lore, so I looked up some, like, stills from, like, comics and stuff like that, and there's plenty of comic adaptations where it's a lot more design going to it. A lot more, like, fire around his fist and, like, dragons and stuff, which is cool. It doesn't even glow in his whole hand. Like, it glows right here, and the rest of it doesn't even glow to his entire fingertips.
I don't know. I think that now that we've seen pretty much most of the shows, that's the thing that sets Daredevil apart. Like, Daredevil has the suit, he has the friend group that you can actually get interested in, and he has unique visuals for his powers. Where
Maybe
you're
it's
not only
because
getting, and because you can do it with sound design too. That's the great thing about Daredevil, is there's different ways to show his powers based on the budget that they're working with. If you can afford a visual effect, you can have him like just hearing something different and do it with sound design. Where I feel like with Iron Fist, you're stuck. You're like, oh, the only way to get something cool out of the scene is if he starts doing some slow punches towards people, and then maybe we'll get a cool moment out of it. But even like Luke Cage had like cooler visual things with like how people would punch him and his face wouldn't move.
or like the grenade.
Like, I feel like there was more. Exactly. Like, even Luke Cage, I feel like had some visual stuff for the powers that felt unique. And it had the other shows had more of a concept. Like, Jessica Jones was a concept show, or was like a detective show.
Yeah, like Jessica Jones
You know what
was
I
a
mean?
very,
like,
I don't know if raw is the right word, but it was a detective show with very real, like real world issues involving it, and like very, it wasn't it wasn't like
Yeah.
the super villain wasn't blowing up the city trying to take over the world. He was sexually assaulting women and like manipulating them to be whatever he wanted them to be. Whereas then you go to Iron
but that
Fist,
show
and it's
had
just
like
this,
a topic.
yeah, it's just these mustache twirling secret ninja clan running around.
Yeah, and then Daredevil, I mean, you have like a lawyer fighting someone who's trying to like manipulate the city. Like, it just has like a theme of like, that's like just injustice and like stuff like that going on, and what's right, what's wrong. Like, that just has like, it feels like it's pitched as a concept for a show.
The
Like,
Hand
we
is
have a
introduced,
theme and idea for the show.
exactly, and the Hand is introduced much more slowly in Daredevil. Like, the Hand is not the bad guys in season
Yeah.
1. It's Wilson Fisk, and you see Gao, and then once Fisk is gone, you learn that, oh, Gao is part of the Hand, this ancient tribe, whatever you want to call it. And it's much more gradual, whereas the Iron Fist were just told from episode 3, I am the immortal Iron Fist, I am sworn to destroy the Hand at all costs. Like, that's his motivation for the entire show. And that's why I think, like, that's why I think if half this, instead of all this stuff about the company or whatever storyline was replaced with much more background into Shang Lao, would make so much more sense. Why does he follow this code so well? Why does he care so much to defeat the Hand? I don't want it to be his eternal mission that we just have to believe him on, you know?
Yeah, but like, I don't even know who the audience for the show is. Like, if there's not cool fight scenes, it doesn't have the best lawyer, like, legal debate stuff going on. The company's not an interesting part. Like, I don't know what their target audience is for the show, other than, hey, you're gonna watch Defenders, so you have to watch this show. Like, there's just no genre. You know what I mean? It's just a dude.
And he
I
doesn't
don't
really
know
even,
who their
he doesn't really
audience is
fit
supposed to
the
be.
typical, he doesn't really fit the typical street level role that they're going for with the Defenders. Whereas Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Daredevil are very street level. And it seems more as if they're trying to shoehorn this ninja with a glowing fist that's indestructible into a street level bad hero instead of picking someone else.
Well, I don't like this show. Like, you could have just do the Batman thing. Like, do him using the company. You know what I mean? Like, doing it smartly. Like, show that he's a smart person. Instead of just showing him, like, driving a car into, like, a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand he has his trauma and stuff, but, like, a lot of the scenes, you just feel like, what is he doing? Like, what is our main character even thinking right now? Like, why not show him as, like, an actual smart person? Because then when you get introduced to the Defenders, you have like people who are like struggling to even pay for like their houses with this dude that owns this whole company, and you would have a good group dynamic
With
through
his
that.
4th grade education.
Exactly. Like, there would just be better group dynamic if they actually made him a little smarter with how he manages the company and the information stuff. I was
Look at you,
just gonna
Ethan.
shrug. I was like,
and then this stuff with Joy, they're obviously at the end of season 1 setting Joy up to be somewhat more of a villain role in season 2, which I think it's a cool concept. At the start, Ward's very against Danny. He feels like Danny's getting in the way of everything. Whereas Joy's like, no,
Yeah.
this is Danny. Like, this is our childhood friend. We have to like we care about him. Like, I care about him. We have to do these things. And then the transition feels so rushed from the way they would gradually switch. By the end, Ward is Danny's friend. Ward wants Danny to help him. Ward's helping Danny out, whereas Joy is the opposite. It really comes out of nowhere in those last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, have Joy should have found out about her dad being alive 2 or 3 episodes sooner. Have a more gradual learning path of, oh, this is my dad. Oh,
in realization.
maybe he's realizing I'm crazy, and then going away from him. Instead of it, she meets him in this episode, gets the vibe that something's off when he like throws the liquor bottle on the ground, and then completely disregards all of that. Gets shot, still blames Ward and Danny for killing their dad.
I don't know. I feel like they didn't talk about anything that we're talking about. Like, I feel like they just like got the script done and we're like, just make the show. You know what I mean? Like, if you question anything in the story, you can probably come up with a better way to go about it, seemingly. At least, you know what I mean, in 5 minutes. Like, I feel like every point of this show just has at least like 5 weak points.
And I've heard the rumor on the streets is that season 2 is pretty bad too.
Worse than season 1?
I think so. Like, I'm pretty sure like season.
That would be insane.
I could be wrong if I say this. I'm pretty sure season 2 of Iron Fist is why these Netflix shows stopped being made.
What? Wait, is that after Defenders?
Yeah. Defenders is the next thing.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure, like, I know the quality kind of goes down from all of them outside of Daredevil after Defenders, but I'm pretty sure, like, Iron Fist season 2 is, like, they try to, like, wipe off the face of the earth, pretty much. I could be wrong.
Oh,
maybe he starts Iron Fisting, and, like, it gets exciting, but...
Don't say that.
So, was this, like... was this a completely different crew than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Like...
Different what?
Like, was this the same Netflix group of people doing it? Or was that
Marvel
different?
Entertainment.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was ABC. It was on TV.
Yeah, but it's
okay.
done under the subdivision Marvel Entertainment,
gotcha,
which was different than Marvel
And
Studios.
it still falls in, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was also, like, canon for a little after the Avengers. Because it still takes place in the post-Avengers, or, like, the post-Avengers 1 New York. Like, that's the whole point. Not the whole point, but...
Yeah, but seemingly... there's no, like, relation from that show to these shows.
No.
From what I can tell.
Which I feel like that would
technology
be the
left
perfect
over.
crossover, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like it would... I don't know. I haven't seen Defenders. I would think that you would be like, oh, maybe some people from S.H.I.E.L.D., like, just Suicide Squad it. Have, like, the people from S.H.I.E.L.D. be like, you guys have to work together because we need you to do this
city.
thing. And we can't get the Avengers together. And then that would have been like a cool plot for a show. You know what I mean? Is them all having to work together. They all kind of know each other from here and there.
I remember a little bit about Defenders. I remember very, very little. I don't remember whatsoever how any of these characters get to find each other. But I remember there being some charm to, like, the way they all operate together. And I think that was the only redeeming part of the show, as I can remember. Like, the group interacts well, and there's a lot of, like, good, like, banter and charm in that. But I actually don't really remember the plot whatsoever, or what the plot consists of, or any of that.
Interesting.
What
are they defending?
I don't know. I'm assuming New York. The only reason I remember how Defenders ends is because the ending of Defenders is pretty much like the very, very start of Daredevil season 3, which I've seen countless times. Not countless, but I've rewatched Daredevil enough that, like, I remember enough from the end of Defenders because that's right where Daredevil picks up.
Interesting.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Defenders. Like, I love crossovers.
I am too.
Especially ones that, albeit maybe not the best quality in shows, I think any crossover that's earned over a long period of time is exciting. Like, there's 4 seasons of TV shows going into this crossover. Yeah. I can't remember exactly how long these took to come out. Ethan might know, but this is over, what, a 5-year span, let's say?
Isn't it Yeah, I guess
Well,
it's 5
it's
seasons.
interesting you
going
bring
into
that
this.
up. I was kind of flabbergasted, really, when I saw the release date for Iron Fist. What year do you think Iron Fist came out? Season 1.
2014.
I was gonna say 2014.
2017.
Really?
I
Oh,
was shocked.
What?
wow. That means
I
2
can
years
verify
that means
before.
season 2
Plus,
came out in like
2017.
2018. That means season 2 came out in 2019, probably.
2018.
I'm gonna look on the list right
So
now.
same
Does season
or a
2?
year
This
before
came
Infinity
out
War.
March 17th, 2017. Let's look when Defenders came out.
I'm gonna look. Is Iron Fist season 2 the last Netflix project, or is there a season 3 of Jessica Jones after?
So,
The same year
okay,
Spider-Man
guys,
Homecoming came out.
this makes a lot more sense. So, Iron Fist came out in March of 2017. Defenders came out in August of 2017. They were on a time crunch.
They were on a crunch. Totally makes sense.
I forgot about the Punisher
Yeah,
because the
dude.
Punisher is not really related to like the Defenders whatsoever. His show ran relatively long. I think the Punisher came out like 2020.
I just forgot we got a show coming
That
up.
show's
I'm stoked.
freaking fire.
That show I'm hyped
It's
about,
good.
dude.
It's good.
But that one was also Netflix.
Yes.
Like it was just like I don't know. It's just weird thinking that this was going on during those Marvel movies. Because like you heard about them at the time, but if you weren't into them, I feel like it was pretty hard to know what was going on with them.
Marvel
like
wasn't-
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was the only
Yeah.
one that I generally knew about because Disney promoted it in Hollywood studios and stuff like that.
Once Marvel
Like, I
kind of
think
like
other than
got
that
their
show-
movies going or whatever however you want to call it, they really stopped kind of pushing the Netflix shows in your face whatsoever. And it could be a reason they started to flop is because no one really knew they were happening if you didn't watch the first run or the first arc of the Defenders. You weren't really waiting
Yeah.
for Jessica Jones season 2 because you didn't know it was a thing.
Well, that was the whole point of Marvel Entertainment. Let's make
Yeah.
it Marvel, but let's keep it on the down low.
Mhm.
And
Jessica Jones
they
season 2 is
really-
where I stopped watching all these shows. I watched Defenders, I watched
Gotcha.
season 3 of Daredevil, and I watched Jessica Jones season 2 like 3 or 4 episodes in, and I don't think I liked it, but I was also 14, 15. I don't think I really liked it all that much, and then I never started watching until Punisher. Like I didn't watch any Luke
Gotcha.
Cage or any Iron Fist season 2 or any of the rest because there's 3 seasons of Jessica Jones.
Is it
Yeah.
really?
I think so.
Oh man.
I thought there
Well,
was just 2.
I don't
No,
know.
there probably is 2.
I got to
But,
pull
like-
up our list, but this is a good conversational point. Do you guys have any? Where I feel like we're kind of beating around the bush. Iron Fist sucks.
I just don't have much to say
Well,
about
I was,
it.
I was just gonna say, like, you can tell at this point they're getting done with the Battle of New York thing. Like, I think that's also the main reason this ended. Like, and this came out the same year as Homecoming, which has like the start of the movie.
Homecoming,
Vulture.
Thor Ragnarok.
Well, yeah, I don't know how much I should actually talk about Homecoming because of the thing.
Yeah,
but
probably none. We're being teased, man. We're right there next week.
But I will say, it has some stuff in relation to Battle of New York, and I think that's kind of the last gist we get out of it until later on with some flashbacks.
And what I find so interesting about Disney Plus's like order is they're so specific about how some of these seasons take place after Age of Ultron, yet there hasn't been one mention of Sokovia.
They dropped the city out of the sky. I can't have
That was it.
A character can't go,
I
hey,
feel like-
that was crazy what happened over there in Eastern Europe. Like, dude, should someone say
I feel
something?
like they just were, I feel like in the timeline, they're just trying to break it up. They're like, it's not good to watch all these back to back to back. You know what I mean? Like, just don't do that. So
it's
they
not
put movies
good
in
for our
between.
mental health.
Ethan, were they
Well, 'cause-
allowed to talk about stuff
yeah.
like that or no? Like, were they allowed? Because they never really mentioned characters by name. They don't, like, there's mentions in all these shows, there's been, like, references to Iron Man. There's, like, the guy in the metal suit or the dude with the shield or the big green guy. They'll call it the
No.
incident.
I thought the dude said Iron Man, and we talked about Hammer. Luke Cage had a lot of name drops.
Hammers and
No,
Luke Cage.
they were allowed. This is simply out of spite. The head of the two studios did not like each other.
Because I was just like, I had no idea whatsoever why they wouldn't have the rights, but it seems so weird.
Yeah.
Like, why say the big green angry guy? Why not just say the Hulk? Like, everyone knows
Most
who
of
the
it
Hulk is.
seemed
Why call
like
it the incident? Why not call it the Battle of New York?
It seemed like they were just given the ability to talk about stuff that happened in Avengers. Like, it feels like when all these shows were greenlighted, they were just like, okay, you can bring up anything that was in Avengers. And then after that, they just didn't get anything. Or if you look at, like, I have seen some stuff from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that show feels like it got a lot more ability to reference stuff currently going on. You know what I mean?
I watched a lot of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Like, it has some stuff
the whole
from Thor,
My
if I remember
apologies.
correctly.
It's not Marvel Entertainment. It's Marvel Television. And
that would make sense.
So this is very important. So the senior vice president of Marvel Television was Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar?
Shrek.
Oh.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, but he's been an executive producer on a lot of the shows we've watched so far.
What sucks about I think it's funny that we're not talking about Iron Fist
or
anymore
whoever
we hate it.
produces all those.
Yeah,
I think what sucks about these Netflix shows somewhat dying out. I just looked on our list. So Jessica Jones comes after season 3 of Jessica Jones is after Punisher 1 and 2, and then that was it. I think what kind of sucks about these dying out is you see one of the biggest complaints, at least I see, and I kind of feel and agree with about the MCU is it's so much more watered down, not necessarily for kids, but they don't really deal with serious topics anymore. You don't really see a lot of violence anymore, which, yeah, I get it. They're movies for they market movies towards families and kids. Like, I've seen every movie with my family. Like, we always go see them together. So I get it from a marketing point of view, but so many fans, especially the fans like us who have aged with it. Like, we grew up when we were 13, we saw the Avengers. And now we're in our 20s. Like, we want more kind of brutal, more gritty kind of characters. It would have been awesome if these shows could have kept going, because that's the best parts of these shows, is you see Daredevil go crazy on a guy. You see Harold Meacham taking a hammer to a guy's head, getting rid of the body. You see Jessica Jones deal with these somewhat heavier topics. And then they kind of die out, and there's no outlet from Marvel to really do that anymore, you know? And I think it would have been cool if these could have kept going.
I feel like the modern phase would have benefited so much if all these topics and themes and ideas were put into, like, the darker tone. I feel like Moon Knight should have went forward as a movie, and then at least we would have one movie that was darker themed. Again, we had an amazing actor, we had an amazing cast with that, great song choices. I feel like that one was strong enough to be a movie and would have better budget with the suit and stuff, and you'd be able to do more. I feel like we just needed that, and then I feel like we would have been fine with Werewolf by Night having some horror elements.
I thought Werewolf by Night was really cool.
Black Widow had some serious topics. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like we would have been fine if we just had. Completely agree. So I feel like maybe we just needed one project, and that would have done. I feel like that would have done enough. I don't want everything to be dark.
I agree.
And stuff like
I don't need it. I just think there's certain characters where can you imagine Moon Knight if it came out on Netflix? Like, Moon Knight with a TV MA rating would have been crazy. It would have been awesome.
Yeah, but I feel like that just should have been a movie. And then we would have kind of this genre in that way. But I mean, I feel like we are still getting some pretty dark stuff. Like, I feel like if I, as a kid, went to see something like No Way Home, there's dark stuff in that movie. It's not the happy-go-lucky, like, Spider-Man movie. You know what I mean? So,
well,
yeah, I don't know.
I'm taking my executive hammer, putting it down. Our Iron Fist conversation is now over. There's nothing else to talk about the show itself.
Thank God.
Let's get into our second topic of this show. Probably the more interesting part. If you still made it this point,
good for you.
God bless your soul. I mean, seriously, this is a tough listen, I'm sure.
Is Werewolf by Night?
You go watch Iron Fist and then you go listen to this, you know?
Yeah.
So Brody and I did a rankings list a while back. We did sound and score of the movies we've listened to this point. As another little recap of where we are right now, we thought it'd be a good idea if we ranked all of the TV shows we've seen up to this point, especially since we were getting to the end of part 3. It's kind of odd that we actually have Captain America Civil War, which is kind of a big emphasis in the MCU. is still kind of halfway point of part 3. The Defenders is our cap to part 3. So this is a great time for us to review everything we've watched. So I've commissioned these two guys to create a rankings list. I think it comes out to 7. Am I correct about that?
I think so.
Yes.
7, a top 7 of all the TV shows we watched, including I Am Groot season 1 and 2 as separate entities. So we're going to go down the aisle. We'll start with number 8.
7?
Wyatt, let's start with you. What did you put for number 8?
You mean 7?
I wonder what this one's going to be.
7.
Okay. I put I Am Groot season 2.
Any reasoning?
It's just kind of a nothing sandwich, you know? It's 20 minutes of a Groot with no voice lines running around. As much as I wanted to put Iron Fist... Huh?
He does say I am Groot.
Okay, sorry. He says I am Groot. As much as I wanted to put Iron Fist below it, just because, like, you know, it's terrible, I'm good. At least Iron Fist 2 was like a show with actors and a 13-episode plot and dialogue, so I'm not going to do that. I don't think Iron Groot was bad.
Plot,
it's just
dialogue.
It's nothing. You know, I don't know. It's a nothing ball. And it wasn't supposed to be anything, you know? It wasn't supposed to be the next stepping stone in the Infinity Saga. So I don't blame it for that. It's just is what it is, you know?
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just nothing.
Yeah, no, it is.
Just,
like, it's just...
It's not even bad. There's not enough there for it to be bad. It just is nothing.
Like, if someone came up to me and goes, so I've been thinking about I Am Groot season 2, and I really analyzed this part. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You don't need to do that.
Dude, but even looking at it, if someone told me, obviously there's a runtime difference, but if you asked me to watch I Am Groot seasons 1 and 2, or watch maybe 2 episodes of Iron Fist,
100%.
I'm watching I Am Groot.
That's a very good point.
I put Iron Fist as my last. It's on topic for this podcast.
I put Luke Cage.
I was going to say Luke Cage. I knew you were going to do that.
That has to be like racist.
No.
What's your reasoning?
I just think as Luke Cage went on, the more bored I got, and I think the other shows as it went on, there was other interesting points, and for me, Luke Cage, it just got more confusing and more dull as it went on.
What about that final fight, though?
I think Luke Cage as a character, very, very good, but the villains in the show I didn't like. It's just I didn't think it was
the final
a very
fight was good,
story.
dude.
I thought it was cheesy.
Okay.
Number 7.
No, 6. Number 6.
Iron Fist. 6. Sorry. Number 6, I got Iron Fist season 1. I just think, as I said a little earlier, it did get a little bit better as it went on, but then it kind of fizzled out at the end. But I felt like I was engaged a little bit longer in Iron Fist in the middle. So that's why I gave it a number 6. What do you got?
For my number 6, I went I Am Groot season 1. Exact same reasoning.
Okay, nice.
Exact same reasoning. I just, the first season's always better. It's always the original. So I gave it a little bit more benefit of a doubt compared to season 2.
Okay. Brody?
I had I Am Groot season 2.
Wow.
Yep.
I've got 2 Netflix shows beneath I Am Groot.
Wow.
Number 5, I got I Am Groot season 2. I think all the reasoning I need to give is if you told me to go watch I Am Groot season 2, I'm going to watch that over Iron Fist season 1 and Luke Cage season 1.
Why?
I got no desire.
Why do you think season 2 is better than season 1?
I don't. I said season. I'm sorry. Did I? I don't know what I said. Season 2 is at number 5.
Yeah. So that by default means you think season 1 was better.
Yes.
I'm asking, why was season 1 better for you?
Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah. But I thought Rocket was in season 2.
Oh, well, there you threw
I was
off
just
his whole
throwing
list.
stuff I'll just throw stuff
I was,
out.
I was just curious if you had
I don't know.
No, I just didn't know if you had any
This is
reasoning
all a blur.
outside of mine. You know, it's the original season. It's going to be better. Like,
I guess that's it.
my 5, I put, or whatever we're on 5, I put the Iron
Yep.
Fist. You know, for the whole 58 minutes we've given before this, I think it sucks. But at least it had real people with real dialogue, and they tried. You know, I think that Finn Jones tried his best, and I'm gonna give him that.
Yeah.
Brody?
We're on number 5.
Yes.
I'm Groot season 1. Because I am still catching up on the I Am Groot listings.
I think that's all she said. Number 4, I've got I Am Groot season 1.
Cinema.
It's a
just think it's
classic.
a little bit
It's
better.
a classic.
Dude,
I think
watching
we're all just
black
trying
and
to get
white.
to the top 3, to be honest with you.
No,
Watch
my
I Am
4
Groot in black and white.
My 4 was Luke Cage.
Okay.
I think there's a very obvious clear cut 1 through 3, though. I mean,
Dude, we got the same number 4. I got Luke Cage at number 4.
it was definitely better than Iron Fist, but it was definitely not as good as 1 and 2 of Daredevil and Jessica Jones. Like, it's a very clear quality differential, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, number 3, the obvious, Jessica Jones season 1.
Yeah, mine's also Jessica Jones season 1, which I think I think Jessica Jones season 1 is very good.
I agree.
I think all these other shows are just making it look better and better.
100%. 100%. And it's going to make Captain America Civil War look like absolute cinema.
Dude, real quick, the amount of TV shows we've watched has completely made me lose track of where we are in the MCU. Like, I know what's going on, but I looked at our list and I'm like, oh, we're that close to Infinity War? I was like, so much, what's even happening? Like, so much has to happen.
Well, there's really just not that much content, you know?
Well, I mean,
minus TV
Ant-Man. Like, that's all I'm remembering about, like, where we are in the MCU right now.
Well, I think
like Ant-Man.
We're going to get to it, but I think Civil War is going to be a good catch up. Like, you'll know what's going on. And
dude, I'm going to be so hyped for that.
And then we get some bangers
Because, like, we haven't seen them in a while, dude.
Yes,
Each time a hero shows up, I'm going to be freaking out in Civil War.
Genuinely excited to watch Civil War. Like, I got excited. I've seen the movie so many times.
We're talking about it, I'm hyped.
Like, I've seen that movie countless times, but I cannot wait to go watch it. Like, whenever I do watch it.
All right.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Are we going to be right? Daredevil season 2.
Season 1.
No!
Season 1 as well.
Yeah.
Season 1 as well.
Yep.
No.
Look, okay. Well, here's the thing. Actually, no, I'll let you talk because you have the different opinion to us.
Yeah, you go with,
I think season 2 may have the greatest peak, I think. I think the court scenes with Frank Castle, those scenes beat any scene in season 1 by far. But I just think season 2 got a little slow, in my opinion, at some points. And so for that reason, I had to give it
with
at the
Elektra.
number 2 spot.
That's a very valid argument. And I agree with you 100%. If I could break it up, it's Daredevil season 1, or it's the last 4 episodes of season 2, the first 8 of season then season 1, and then the first 8 of season 2. Because I do think all that stuff with like the Punisher and all of that stuff is amazing. And then it does lose a little steam with the Elektra stuff and all that, but I still think the Elektra stuff's interesting. And I just think the stuff with all the other stuff is so good that it outweighs the slight negative.
I think Daredevil season 1 with the flashbacks and stuff tells like a really, really concrete season. Like, it's a great pilot to a show, like as a whole season. But the reason I had to put season 2 above it is just because in season 1, the cast, I just was not feeling like they knew each other. I was not feeling like they were really friends. I felt like whenever they were talking, I could just tell that like they had just met like on day for set. You know what I mean? Where I feel like getting around to season 2 when they're in the bar and stuff.
In my opinion, I kind of wrote that as headcanon. Like, that's part of the story. Like, Matt and Foggy are good friends, right? But you're still trying to get the camaraderie of the 3 of them all together.
I agree.
Yeah, but I just feel like season 2, when that's at its best, it's like watching Guardians 2 compared to Guardians 1. Like, your groups are together.
Karen Page murdered people. Convicted.
You know what I mean?
Well, she was convicted of, like, she was alleged and was.
True. But
you're
it
always
just,
assumed innocent in the court of law.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
right? But it just depends on what kind of person you are when you go to watch stuff. Like, it's like with Guardians of the Galaxy, the people that like Guardians 1 more than 2, I completely understand. If you like seeing the group get together in the first meeting, that makes sense. Like, I feel like those are the people that would love, like, a Daredevil season 1 more. But, like, for me, once I already know the characters and I'm already introduced to them, I would rather jump back in when they all know each other. They're all interacting together.
I think just the emotional parts of season 2 hit harder because the characters, we've had more time with them. I think all this stuff with Matt and Foggy's fight works so much better than it does in season 1. Because in season 1, they had that little like issue where Foggy finds out he's Daredevil. I think in season 2, all that stuff with like every time there's a shootout with Daredevil, Foggy's like he runs to the scene. I think all that stuff just hits so much harder in season 2.
Completely agree.
So, guys, we have made it out of this long haul, and it's been a long haul.
It's been insane.
Like I said, our next assignment is Captain America: Civil War, and as a little treat, as dessert after the full course meal, we've got 2 1-shots.
Oh, the
as always,
shots are back.
I'm Team Thor all the way. So we got Team Thor Part 1 and Team Thor Part 2.
Is that the one where he lives with Derek or whatever that dude's name is?
Thor, Daryl. That's later.
Oh.
Because, Thor is going to have such a massive part in Captain America: Civil War. I'm just so excited to see him.
I left his arc.
Almost as huge as Hulk's.
His arc in Civil War is pretty big. It's one of my favorite arcs, in MCU history, I would argue, actually. Dang. I'm looking at the list right now. I'm excited, crazy. Man. We got some good ones coming up.
We do.
Dude, I'm hyped. But after this, like...
What?
I don't think there's something we couldn't get there. What?
I didn't realize D. Strange was so close.
What is he after?
Defender Season 1.
Oh.
I
didn't know that either. But I guess that makes sense.
Strange
2016
was one of the first Marvel movies Ethan saw.
Yeah. Really? Dude, I still can't believe you guys were so late to the Marvel stuff.
Don't say you guys. I was not.
Well, like, I just meant, like, most of the people on the podcast when we started this, like, I didn't know that a lot of people were late to the Marvel thing. Because I was always under the assumption that everyone else was really into it, and that's why this was starting. And that, like, I was going to be the casual guy coming in here to talk about Star Wars.
Carson watched Endgame on Disney Plus. I remember watching Endgame with Carson at Ethan's house for his very first time after he'd watched all the movies beforehand, but he watched like 7 of them in one day.
Well, dude, it's super funny because, like, when I look back, I'm like, dude, you guys were always watching Marvel movies when I went to your house. Like, it was all you guys on the couch watching Marvel movies. So I just thought you guys loved Marvel. But now that I'm looking back, I'm like, that was probably the first time you guys were watching those movies.
Me and Brendan showing them it for the very first time. That's what it was.
Right? Well, but you guys were all cheering and stuff. So I was like, dude, these guys really like these movies. But it's just because it was the first time you guys were watching it. For
Carson, for sure. Because there was a stint that I was showing them we were going in chronological. Not to this extent. We weren't watching the Netflix shows.
But it's just funny because it gave me the total false presumption.
Iron Fist.
That's why he's not here anymore, man.
Dude, but look at the list of shows. I can't believe we got through this all. Like, in decent time, too.
I actually
don't there was some other...
We're not even halfway through the shows, right?
No, and we're not even through the hardest part.
Jessica Jones... Because they get all bad.
I think this is the hardest point.
I'm pretty sure.
No, it's not just all bad. Like, listen. We've watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows in 7 projects. So we had 2 movies splitting it up. Mm-hmm. Right? We had Age of Ultron and we had Ant-Man. So it was tough. But later on, we have...
I'm looking at it too.
7 shows straight, 7 weeks straight of shows, no movie break.
But they're Disney Plus shows?
No, these are Netflix ones.
We got The Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Daredevil, The Punisher, Jessica Jones. I'm
hearing this. That is hilarious. His face
I forgot so many shows had more seasons.
Yeah,
I thought Defenders was like the final, and then you get Daredevil season 3 and then Punisher.
No. Every show has a season 2, and Jessica Jones has 3. But we have a really good handful of movies.
Dude.
We gotta soak those all up.
Dude.
We do.
In 25 years, when we do the Star Wars rewatch, watching the Disney Junior show is going to feel like a breeze compared to this. I was all worried about that one.
Season 2 of
This
Iron
is
Fist.
making it look like a breeze to watch a Disney Junior show.
It's gonna feel weird, not to like look too far down the list, going from 7 shows to Ant-Man and the Wasp and then Infinity War. That's gonna feel strange. Like that's because like it'll be nothing but Defenders, Infinity War.
Yeah, we're basically going to go 2 months.
You know,
it'll be like
what I want to say
come
is,
out. That'll be exciting.
all I want to say is
Infinity
I've
War.
never seen anybody else do this, where they go through the shows and the movies. And if a podcast were to do this, I would definitely tune in every time they post.
I am very confident.
Because I've never seen anyone do this.
I'm very confident that we're the only ones doing it, and at this point, it's too late. You have to have started by now.
I've just never seen people do the shows too.
Or
I've
you're
seen people watch all the movies.
truly living the unemployed life. Which I mean, you know, if you're going through stuff, you know, whatever. If you're going through stuff, come listen to the pod.
I get home from work and I throw on a Netflix Marvel show. Like that's been the last 2 weeks.
But Wyatt made a very good point. This is a great segue. We got a countdown to Infinity War, guys. But even more, we have a countdown to Avengers Doomsday. Today, when we've recorded this, by the time it's released, it may be a little bit shorter. We are 499 days till Avengers Doomsday, guys.
I'm excited.
Honestly though, I just want Spider-Man. this week's hype. I'm skipping straight to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Is that coming out before Doomsday? Like officially?
Yeah. Basically a year
it's
from now.
Supposed to be.
Well, that'd be cool.
Well, you guys made it. You guys made it to the end of the Iron Fist episode. We've only got one more of these of Iron Fist talk. Then we're done. Then we're over. Then we never have to watch or think about Iron Fist ever again.
What if we absolutely love
Till he
season
fights
2,
me in Rivals.
And dude, when I'm playing Squirrel Girl and I hear Iron Fist jumping up behind me, I just know it's over.
Dude.
And
I've been playing Johnny Storm because Fantastic Four.
I was so
and then out of nowhere,
Season 2, Human Torch, I was so good before he got patched, and I stopped playing on him. Marvel Rivals
and
podcast.
that is going to do it for this episode of the Sacred Rewatch. We hope you enjoyed diving back into the timeline with us. New recap episodes are coming out every week leading up to Avengers Doomsday. Wherever you are in the multiverse, thanks for making the Sacred Rewatch part of your journey. See you guys.